This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome, America. That's right. This is the Invent America show on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network, part of the Home Talk USA radio family. This is the time of the show where we sit down and talk to inventors and entrepreneurs and specifically talk about the technologies of the future. How to get your technology to market. That's the whole point of Invent America, talking to great American entrepreneurs, developers, and all sorts of bright minds that make up the great technology to basically improve our lives. Our co-host, my sidekick, is on a cross-country adventure right now. She's traveling, but she did pull off on side the road, and she's with us. They call her the Inventor lady herself, Rita Crompton. Hey, Rita, how's that cross-country adventure going?
It's been great. We've been really lucky. We've had some good weather, but at this point we have been on the road for 7 hours, just talking about the show and how much fun it's been over the last year, and talking because I'm not driving alone. But I'm traveling with my mother. She's actually gone to the hardware show with us for 10 years. And so this topic that we're talking about is what do you need to successfully go to a trade show, a professional level trade show? And like so many inventors, their biggest challenge is getting someone to see their product, getting someone to say, oh, this is really cool. And so when we're going to, the National Hardware Show is coming up, but there's a show for everything, professional level show. So what do you need as an inventor to go to the show? And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Great. At the end of the year and the first part of next year is trade show times where, now there's trade shows that are open to the public, but most of the trade shows that we go to are closed to the public, which they call industry shows. It's for the companies themselves to introduce their products to distributors, to the box stores, to the retail outlets. Is that correct?
Right. I mean, the inventors that we are taking this year to the booth that will be under the Invent America title, as we, are trying to really promote our Invent America show to the inventors. They've all been on the radio show, all right, and they're all looking to license their intellectual property. Most of them say, well, I can't go because I don't have inventory. When we're going after licensing, that means we're going to find someone who wants to make it, sell it, and send you a royalty check. And so you don't need inventory. You need a sexy, functioning prototype to prove what you've got in the marketplace. And then we go and we talk and we talk about it. You demo it. We talk about pricing points. We talk about packaging. I had a gentleman that is going to be on in the next couple of weeks, and he's going to the show. He did his first run, Michael, of several thousand units, and they packaged it to the point where it was wrong for the material that the product was made out of and destroyed it in the process. So he's got to do a whole new run. He didn't know.
Yeah, that's why we do the show. But, I try to educate, new companies that's trying to put their product to market, is basically, are you a one-trick pony, two-trick pony, three-trick pony? Do you have multi-products? Because I need to tell you, if you have one or two products, you might want to consider licensing it out.
Exactly.
And that's that. Yeah. Hey, once you get out there and sell, and you get it to a good distributor, then all of a sudden, man, you get that little royalty check, and man, you smile, and then most of them move on to something else. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And when we've got inventors they're the thinkers, they're the doers. They see a problem, they fix it. Generally, if you're good at that, you're not a good business person, you're not a good manufacturer, you're not a good marketing person, because you're good at what you do. Very few people are perfect and genius at everything. And so when we say, look at what you're strong at, and then we go after the next step to get the product out there. And you're right. For most of them, it's licensing. They don't have deep enough pockets to manufacture. They don't have the big enough reach for marketing. And that business acumen on how you do that for a product. It's not like they're putting up a pizza parlor or, a new mechanic station for, fixing cars. They're trying to sell a product worldwide.
Well, I'm going to use this analogy, Rita, and I'm going to use my construction knowledge and construction business. I need to tell you, there's two type of contractors, and if you can get that third contractor, that's the one. You have, one category, you have great contractors that are horrible business people. Then in another category, you got horrible business contractors. They horrible in business, but they're great contractors. And then you got the great in business, but they're horrible contractors. But if you get that third category, and I'm not tooting my horn, but if you can get a great contractor that's a great businessman, then that's the company, the construction company you want to deal with. Same thing in your field, and same thing when we're talking about these companies. How many times you have great inventors that are horrible business people? And then you have poorly inventors that are great business people.
Exactly. And, the ones that have the biggest challenge in this is because they've listened to Shark Tank. They've listened to, somebody at a, different government organizations at the USPTO where they say, oh, yeah, you can be a startup and you can get, investors and you can get, grants. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Those things you spend all your time chasing the money instead of moving on to your next project. And so what we want to do is get it into the hands of a professional who's good at manufacturing and good at marketing, and that's what they do professionally. And they take your idea and they make it into something. It goes back to the idea of an invention is like a child. You conceive it, you nurture it, it sucks you dry, you throw it out.
Well,
and I was telling a guy who was complaining this morning about it, and I said, well, you're at the throwing out stage. And he started to laugh, and he goes, I get it, I am. And, until you get it out there in somebody else's hands who can make it big, because, like I told him, I said, you could sell 50,000 units at a Home Depot, and they send you a check instead of, send you an invoice instead of a check, because the barcode is in the wrong spot. Well,
Rita,
you got to know that stuff.
Yeah. Well, Rita, success cannot occur, and you heard it before, where opportunity has to meet preparation. If you could be prepared, but if you don't have the opportunity, it ain't going to happen. Or you might have the opportunity, but you're not prepared, it ain't going to happen. So two factors have to be in play here for you to be successful. And that's just the way it is. But we're going to take a short break. We're going to have to pay some bills here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network. You're listening to the Invent America Show on the Home Talk USA radio family. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with our first guest, first topic right here. Don't go nowhere. Me and Rita will be right back. Yay!
Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Thanks so much, everybody, for being with us today. We are talking about what you need to take to a professional trade show. And launching a product is the ultimate challenge. You know, you pay all this money for the patent, the design work, and getting it out there. What do you have to launch it? And especially when you want to go after licensing, that sexy prototype is what we're looking for at a professional trade show. So Scott Tarcy is the president of CAD Design Help. He is one of our sponsors. Thank you so much for being a sponsor of Invent America, Scott. And tell people a little bit about yourself and how you got into this business.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I went to school for mechanical engineering, and I worked in corporate America for a long time, and I wanted to just kind of work for myself. So I took the skills, design skills I learned from school and the jobs I was at, and just that's what I've been doing. So I do a lot of work for Inventors because typically they have mechanical, design type of products, and I know how to bring them to life.
But you're not just a design professional. You've actually got products of your own. So you understand the inventor's struggle to get from, all right, I've got an idea, to now sexy prototype that actually works.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a bunch of things I've invented. In fact, I'm working on like a little hook to hold a leaf blower to like a cart that if you're out playing golf, you can carry this with you. So like stuff like this, I'm always working on, and it's difficult because you'll have an idea, you'll draw it out in CAD, you'll make I'll 3D print it, and then it won't quite fit, and that's just how it goes. So it's a lot of back and forth to get something to a final use product.
Right. So how do you get someone? And I know that you're working on at least one of our inventors, I think maybe even two of them who are planning on going to the show. How do you work with them to get teed up then for a professional show?
Yeah, so when you go to a show, ideally, if your product is not too large or complicated, you can bring a prototype with you, and we can make that by 3D printing. We can even use electronics and integrate that into it. But if something's really big, like a big machine or something, you're probably going to have to just use like a sales sheet with images, but we can create the CAD designs that we can get images from multiple sides versus just like an artist image, which would just be one angle.
Right, and most of the things that Invent America is taking this year fall into that first category. You might ship them in a box, but if you had to put them in your suitcase, you could. And so there's things that are going to be easy to display, but being able to then have that proof of concept is really important. And you and I had talked about this, is that sometimes it takes 3 or 4 to get one that works right.
Yeah, you definitely need some time. Like, if you've got a show coming up, you probably need at least a month, probably more than that, depending on how complex it is, to get it to where you want it. Because it's like I said. But if it's something really simple, maybe the first couple of iterations will be good.
Yeah, and inventors aren't always sure what they need. They'll go out the door with, I can't go to a professional show, I don't have inventory. Oh, I can't go to a professional show, I don't know how. Oh, I can't go. And so there's a lot of reasons why they think they can't go. But the truth is that they can go. And with that patent pending status, sexy prototype or proof of concept, depending on, how you want to look at it, but something that proves what you want it to do. And the more polished it is. I mean, we had one guy a few years ago that he had 6 prototypes. That was all he owned. They were $600 a piece for a product that ultimately would cost probably $15. But they were beautiful. And so when we look at those sexy prototypes, sometimes they can be so professional looking and so polished. And then we had, one guy go that his was just all banged up. It's because it was a shovel, and it proved that he used it, and it lasted and it worked. So, depending on what it is, you might say, all right, no, this one looks better because it looks like it's been used, and this one needs to be all polished, nice and slick.
Yeah, there's certainly different ranges you can do. Like, we can do different colors. We can paint it. We can leave it like the raw material. It just depends what you make.
Yep, absolutely. So, well, I hear our music playing. That means we need to go and pay some bills. And we want to thank our host, GCN Network, for giving us a home for HomeTalkUSA and Invent America. We are very, very grateful. And stick with us. We're going to wrap up the show with a few closing comments and some announcements for next week. Scott, thanks so much.
Thank you.